Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Caroline and we're officially in the spring, which to me means it's the new year. I personally celebrate New Year's, the first new moon of the spring. So towards the end of March is when it happens for me. So happy new year to you if you also celebrate it at this time of the year. And I love spring. It's my birthday season. And beyond that, I love seeing nature come back to life, especially when I'm in my hometown or home country in Canada, because you can clearly see the transition from winter to spring. Anywho, so with spring we have renewal, rebirth, la renaissance, quoi. And so if we observe it from a spiritual point of view, what does that mean to you? What will you renew in your life? What do you want to give birth to? What do you want to bring forth within the next few months or year of your life? So it's New Year's. What you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? And not necessarily resolutions, but it's just an observation of your life and seeing where, on one hand, there are things that you would like to change, to improve, to transform, to transmute. And on the other hand, you have things that are going well or very well for you and that you want to keep up or build upon. And so that's what I personally like to do. I make lists of what I want to improve or change, and a list of the things that are going very well and that I want to build upon. And you can do this for every sphere of your life, health, uh, physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, your spiritual life. It can also be about relationships with family, friends, with your lover, your romantic partner. It can be work or career wise. It can be your home environment. It could be really anything. There's also, whatever brings you joy and pleasure and fun in your life. And I know, at least as far as the things that I've listed out for the next 6 months, things that I desire to change or transform, improve on, and also when it comes to things that I desire to build upon, I see how, reflecting on the past year of my life, there are a lot of things that I had started doing or committed to doing, because before I would do it here and there, but then I committed. And now I see where I want to take it to the next level. And something which I already started, because let's say last year, because of my life schedule, I would go on walks, at least last summer, I would go on walks once per day at the end of the day. My meditative walk, that's my thing every night, come hell or high water or freezing temperature, okay? And so this winter, because I spent part of the winter here in Canada, I, for whatever reason, decided, you know what, I will go on 3 walks per day. And that would be from Monday to Friday usually. On the weekends, I would only go on the night walk. And sometimes I would go for a couple of walks per day. But mainly it was from Monday to Friday. I had a set schedule of 3 walks per day. So around noonish, around 4ish, and then at night around 9ish. And so let's say if I take that as an example of something that I want to build upon, I'm not going to go on 5 walks per day. However, one of those walks, I tend to quote unquote upgrade or at least, expand into jogging. What if I started doing light jogging? Why? Because one of my goals by the end of the summer, so by end of September-ish, I would like to be able to run long distance again. And when I say long distance, it's according to my measures, eh? Okay? So to me, my goal is like, can I run for 1 kilometer without stopping? So I'm not putting the standards too high, because this is not a competition. This is just me with me for me. So I told myself, take it slow, I take it easy, and I take it up. I give myself that goal of what if I can hit that. And if I don't, it's okay. Nobody's here to give me a gold star, a medal, or whatever, a trophy. Nah, it's not a competition. This is really just me for me. You know what I'm saying? So use that example if you'd like, with whatever it is that you desire to do. How can you build upon something that you already started, and see if you can take it to another level or another dimension? You can expand it into something different. And let's say for something that you desire to transform or change, personally, I'm afraid to say it because I don't know if I really want to say it, but okay, I'm going to say it this way. So I really love coffee a lot. I really, really love coffee. I used to drink a ton of coffee, but then I took it down to 1 cup per day. But now I'm thinking I want to explore life with less coffee. There was a time in my life where I felt I was overdoing it, so I would only have coffee on the weekend. So I wouldn't have any coffee during the week, but the weekend though, let me get my nice cold brew or my latte. But then, with time, I eventually picked back up the cup of coffee a day. And there's nothing ultimately wrong with that, but I listen to my body, and that's really that's who I got to answer to. It's my body. So if I feel it in my body that, hey, it would be a good idea to, slow down even more with the coffee and see what happens there, at this stage in your life. See what happens if you go with less coffee. And not only that, but also with sugar, added sugar. I have been treating myself a lot. I think it's because I spent the winter here in Canada, at least most of it. And I just had a lot of sweets. Maybe it was to compensate for not being in a tropical area for, the most part. But I overdid it, okay? I'm going to be honest. So even when it comes to sugar, added sugars, I'm thinking, okay, let me see how I can transform that into something different. How can I have less sugary foods or beverages? And again, with the coffee, it's the same. Also with alcohol, okay, I love me a good glass of wine or a good mojito or a good margarita, okay? But it's not that I overdid it. Again, it's just a question of, okay, listening to my body and my body feeling like, okay, let's see what happens if we slow down on, the wine. Even though I'm really slowed down now. Like, I used to, there was a time in my life, many moons ago, I would have at least 1 glass of wine per night, with my dinner, with my friends. We have a glass of wine or two, okay? But now it's more occasionally, but I'll see how I can just make it different, if I consume it less. And it doesn't have to be a strict thing. I just, again, follow my body's guidance. And honestly, I say all this, and I think it's probably because it's spring, therefore it's a great time to do an inner cleanse. The same way that we cleanse out our wardrobes, like the body also feels the need to go through some type of cleanse. after winter. So that could be why I feel like consuming less sugar, less coffee, less alcohol. Could be my body just telling me we're preparing for a cleanse. So no problem, body, let's do it. So maybe I'll document that as well once I officially embark on the cleanse journey. So now I guess I'm in pre-prep mode. I'll make other videos about that more specifically. But anyways, all this to say, hopefully it inspires you to do the same with whatever's going on in your life, in the different spheres of your life. See what you would like to change, transform, or transmute, or improve. And on the other hand, see what's going great or going good that you'd like to take into another dimension, to expand into a new space of mastering that thing, or of growing in that thing, of evolving with that thing, with that activity, with that habit, with that routine, or whatever it is. And again, in all spheres of your life. So yeah, let me know if this resonates with you. And of course, if this video is your vibe, please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or what you plan to do for this new year. Okay, spring, new year, for the next few months of your life. Oh, and one last thing, whatever it is that you desire to do, on either side of the coin, what you desire to change or what you desire to uh, expand on, do it at a baby steps pace. Okay, one small spoonful at a time. There's no need to rush. There's no competition. It's you and you. Okay, so don't go from one extreme to the next, because usually that never really works. You want it to be gradual, you want it to be sustainable. So take your time, one day at a time, no rush, and lovingly, gently, and with compassion go into this journey with yourself to see, okay, well, let's explore what's next for ourselves. Again, with love and compassion and kindness and patience. Because there's a quote that says that, I'm paraphrasing here, but that, nature takes her time, she doesn't rush, and yet everything gets done. I'll put the quote on the screen, the exact quote. And let that quote inspire you. Whenever you feel like you want to go from one extreme to the next, remember that. Baby steps. You only get somewhere one step at a time. We don't rush there, at least until we can master teleporting, okay? But take your time, and just like the spring, it'll take a few months, a few weeks at least, to see the leaves on the trees, to see the flowers start to bloom. It takes time, but when it happens, it's so beautiful, and it's exactly as it's supposed to be. So maybe we can take heed from Mother Nature. Follow her lead on that, and take your time with your own process, with your journey. Okay? And actually, one more thing. There's one more thing I want to say about, working on new goals or new things. Some things you might have to keep to yourself. Okay? Like my mom always says, garde tes rêves au chaud près de ton cœur. Keep your dreams like warm next to your heart, okay? Because I don't know who's around you, but sometimes we have people, even though they're, our loved ones, but because of whatever's going on in their own mind, in their own hearts, they might project onto you. And if, unfortunately, they don't speak life or pour life into the things that you desire to work on or to create, to make happen for the new year, or for, the next few months. If you don't have a very strong mind like real good mental fortitude where you're able to just, cut off the type of energy from coming into you and poisoning your mind, they might not be of great help. You see what I'm saying? If you know people that really do speak life into you, maybe you can share with them. But if there are things on your list that you're thinking, it's not that serious, that's one thing. But if there are some things that really come from your heart and it's like, oh my God, I'm ready to make this big thing, this big move, this big change in my life, maybe at first just keep it close to heart. Make the commitment to you first. Build your own self-trust to every day do what you got to do for that thing. And maybe once you have a good rhythm with it, you're committed to it, maybe then, well, first of all, people might notice. But if not, maybe then you can start opening up about it to some people. Kind of like when a woman is pregnant. Usually, I don't know if they still do that, but usually the first trimester, they don't really make a big announcement of it. They wait after because anything can happen in the first trimester. So this is just an extra tip, just in case you're aware of the type of energy that is around you, in terms of like the people that might be negative, or because of their own stories, they might project their stories onto you and tell you, well, you know what, I couldn't do it, so I don't think you'll be able to, or too many people try that, I don't think it's going to be a success, or you never were into that type of stuff, why would you do that now, da, da, da. Just speaking bullshit onto whatever it is you desire to do. Maybe not share that with them. You see what I'm saying? Keep it close to your heart. This is for you. And again, if you feel the need to talk to someone about it, have an accountability partner, look around in your circle and see who's the best person for that. Maybe sometimes it's not even somebody that's in your life per se. Maybe it's online. There are groups that you can join of people who are into the same thing and will encourage you and support you and even give you tips and advice and all that jazz. Maybe, go in that direction for however long you feel the need to before you start opening up to everyone. So silence is kind of key on this one, okay? All right, so on that note, I will let you go and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.